Hello learners, you're most welcome. This is Education Online. I am teacher Lunya Agnes Okot. I'm a teacher of English language and literature in English. Today I'm going to teach you English language for Senior 1 and Senior 2. In this, my dear learners, we are continuing to develop our vocabulary. You remember in our previous lesson, we talked about vocabulary development, and I promise to come back and continue to show to you very many words which are developed in the vocabulary using still synonyms. So I hope from the previous lesson you picked the meaning of the word vocabulary. We just said it means a store or bank where our words are stored, especially in English language. So when you have very many words to use, then you have a rich vocabulary. That means in your store of words, you have so many words and you cannot be stranded, especially when you're speaking, when you're writing, or even when you're listening. You don't bother yourself because your vocabulary is rich. You have a rich vocabulary. I went on to tell you that when you want to be rich in vocabulary, you must use homophones of words. You remember we also learned about homophones sometimes back. We also looked at homonyms sometimes back. Those words which are spelled alike, pronounced alike, but with different meaning. We also saw them. And last time I started teaching you synonyms. Let us continue today. So you can write it in your book there. The subtopic of today under vocabulary development is still synonyms. Synonyms is spelled in this way: S-Y-N-O-N-Y-M-S without N rather at the end. Synonyms. And I told you clearly last time that synonyms mean equivalent of something. For instance, if there is a word and you don't want to use that word, you get the equivalent of that word. You saw we looked at very many words like cry. We saw a word like cry, spoil. We also looked at the word beautiful. We even went on to look at the word broken, and so many others, and so forth. So we saw very many words, and in all these words, I showed you how to develop their synonyms, which in turn we say is the vocabulary. Right, today, let us leave all these words because we now know how to develop them. We're going to see more. I want you to learn as many as possible. Our lesson, we're going to start with one simple word yet. That word is the word mad. The word mad. You can write it down. M-A-D. Remember, it is not M-U-D. Right. That is why I started by teaching you homophones, because these are homophones. They are pronounced alike, but they have different meaning. This one means the soil, and we are not looking at this. We're going to look at this first one. M-A-D. It is a noun, meaning a certain kind of a person. It is also adjectival. It describes the state of mind of a person. Now, in this case, a person who is not mentally stable is called a mad person. But you can avoid it. My dear Senior 1 and 2, you can say crazy. You can also say lunatic. You can even say insane. Now, let us see how we can use these three words in construction of sentences with 3 words. 1. Crazy. You can say, you behave in a very crazy way, instead of saying, you behave in a mad way. Even you can use it in interrogative, like this. Are you crazy? You asked as if you're surprised. So you can say, are you crazy? Are you crazy? Since it is a surprise, you will use exclamation instead of even a question. So you'll say, are you crazy? Means, are you mad? Instead of saying, are you mad? Then let us look at word 2. We construct a sentence using the word lunatic. You can say, as I was traveling to I Amarat, or as I was going to I Malakal, or on my way to Gudele 2, I saw a lunatic. So you can use it in this way. On my way to I Malakal, I saw a lunatic. I saw a lunatic. So you can now see, instead of all the time saying, on my way to I Malakal, I saw a mad person, you just say a lunatic, and it's enough. You can even use this third word, insane. Insane. You remember there is a song that you, my senior 1 and senior 2, you like it so much. Oh, most of the times I find you dancing crazily. Say, you're making me go insane. That one, I don't know whether you have ever taken your time to write the spelling down. This is the spelling, insane, meaning you're making me go mad. You're making me go crazy, actually. So you can write it down and say, your beauty makes me go insane. You are too beautiful to me. You can make me go crazy. That's the meaning of that sentence. Right. So today, my dear senior 1 and 2, we have advanced a little bit. We are using synonyms to construct sentences. Now, let us leave the word mad. Let us go to example 2, and I show you how to develop the synonyms first of all, then use it in the construction of sentences. This time we are going to look at the word big. Big. Just simple word, big. Big is here. My dear learner, this word big, you can avoid it by saying huge, large. See, you can say huge, large. Right, instead of all the time saying big, you can say, my brother is very huge. You see, it is applicable to a certain context. Even non-humans can be huge. You can even say, I saw a very huge building. Still, you can use the word large instead of big. That is a very big car. You can even say it is very large. Or you can even say, my bedroom is very large, instead of, I have a very big bedroom. So let us use it in the construction. Under this one, you can say, my uncle has a very huge building. That means it is extraordinarily big. You can even say be my, or you can use another pronoun instead of my. You can say the teacher of English, the teacher of English owns a large home. So the home can also be very large, with very large compound. It can also be very huge, having very huge buildings and the rest. So you should know how to apply them in sentences. Not only that one, my dear learners, let us use this word. Haven't you ever seen this word? Now, word 3. The word is sudden. Sudden. I'm telling you, you can avoid this word. You substitute it. Actually, synonyms are substitutes of words. Now, you can substitute it with the word abrupt. 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 Let us use it in a sentence and you see. Our death was too abrupt. So you can see, you would have avoided the word sudden, but substituted it with the word abrupt. Can go on and say brief or even short. It's another word. So you can use this word. Another word can be short. Instead of using short, you will say brief. Another word is short. This word short can also mean brief. Brief. Yes. Now, let us use it in a sentence. You can say, in a sentence now, it will be in this way. Never write a brief story. That means it is a warning. Do not write a short story. But instead of using the word short, you have opted for the word brief. Never write a brief story. Right. You can even use this word interchangeably. Instead of using this, you use this. Instead of using short, you use brief. Let us go on and see many more examples of synonyms. You can say insight. Insight. Insight may be substituted by this word interior. Interior. Can even substitute it with within. You can even use the word internal. Right. Let us now apply them in sentences. Start with number 1. My mother is the minister of interior. This means she's not the minister of affairs, which is outside, but the affairs of the home country, within that particular country. So it is inside that country, not connected to outside world. That's why we are saying my mother is the minister of interior. Then let us look at within. Within can also be used in a sentence, and it's only one word. Don't write with, then you write in somewhere. Don't space, in other words. So you can say, I will be able to come. I will be able to come within that week. Within that week. This means that week will not go past before you go there. So you will be able to go there within that particular week. Inside. Remember, it is a synonym of inside. Your visit is going to be inside or within that week. Then let us look at internal. You can come down and construct a sentence here by saying, he was injured internally. This is an adverb of the word internal. So within, it is not the wound or the injury did not affect him inside, but from the outside rather, but it is not on the surface, but within or internally, inside. Right. Let us go and look at yet another word. This time we are going to look at the word to prohibit. To prohibit. To prohibit. We're going to look at the word to prohibit. And we will see how it can be multiplied or used by creating more synonyms. To excuse me, to prohibit. To prohibit. You can say to prohibit, you can say forbid. Forbid. This is from the word forbid. Now, apply this one in a sentence. You should always forbid the children playing in the living room. Please forbid instead of prohibit, because you want to use the synonym. Forbid the children from playing in the living room. In the living room. Living room just means sitting room. Living room. Prohibit or forbid the children from playing in the living room. You can even say to prevent. To prevent. To prevent. Right. Now let us use the word prevent to refer to prohibit. always wash hands. Wash hands with soap, and clean water. Right. In this way, you would have used the words always wash hand with soap and clean water to prevent diseases. To prevent diseases. So you see, instead of saying prohibit, this place is prohibited, he said, I forbid you from entering here. It is forbidden for you to be here. Prohibited, forbidden, prevented, prevent, all these two words are the synonyms of this prohibit, and so many others. Let us look at the words to scatter. Scatter. Do me a favor. To scatter here, you can say to disperse. Disperse. And check the spelling of pass, to disperse. It means to scatter. Let us apply it in a sentence here. The police used tear gas to disperse excuse me, to disperse the crowd. That means the police used tear gas to scatter the crowd. People gathered somewhere, and the police used tear gas to scatter them or to disperse them. Better. You cannot stop there, my dear learners. You can go ahead and also use other words, which is not prohibit, scatter, these other ones like match. Let us go ahead and use other words. For instance, if you look at the word small, just simple word small. Small is S-M-A-L. Instead of saying small, you can say little. In this case, this little, you can even use it in a sentence. For instance, you can say, give me your little time. Your little time. There is L already here. Little time. Give me your little time. Meaning something small, not very big. It's actually the opposite of big, huge, and the rest. So give me your little time. And with this, my dear learners, I believe, at least now, you are somewhere. You know how to use synonyms now to develop your vocabulary and to use what is in your vocabulary, which is the store of words, to now construct so many sentences. You saw how to use words like crazy to construct a sentence. We constructed a sentence using the word lunatic. We also went on to see the word insane, and later we saw other words including small, little, big, huge, We even went on to say prohibit, forbid, and the others. So with this, I believe you now know you can use this lesson or this some of this example to create very many words to develop your vocabulary. In this way, by the time you reach senior 3 and 4, you would have developed your vocabulary and you have very many words in your word store. Thank you so much for today. Next time I'll come and teach you yet another topic. Bye bye for today. I'm teacher Lunya Agnes Scott.